Internal Revenue Service IRS tax news. IRS adds phone operators to answer economic impact payment questions. IR 2020-97, May 18th, 2020. Washington. Today, the Internal Revenue Service is starting to add 3,500 telephone representatives to answer some of the most common questions about economic impact payments. So the phone services are getting back up and running here. Obviously, the phone services have been a little bit down due to, in part, the social distancing and whatnot. Clearly, given the fact that it's a new program here for the economic impact payments, many people may have questions about the economic impact payments, so they got the phone line up and running, so you could try that out if you have questions on a particular item. Back to the text. IRS telephone assistance and other services will remain limited, and answers for most of the common questions related to economic impact payments are available on IRS.gov. So typically when you call the IRS, like calling any other large institution, they're going to say, hey, look, we did our best to put all the normal kind of questions on the website. So you want to probably go there first, because that might be the easiest place to get your normal kind of questions answered. If you have a question that you think they might be able to answer over the phone that might be a little bit more specific, or that's not on the website, or if you just want to verify possibly with an agent to see what they think about this stuff, then you could go to the phone line. So you probably want to default to the website first. The resources are right on IRS.gov under the coronavirus area. You go to the question and answers, and they'll have most of that information right there. But again, if you wanted to go to the phone after that, then they add the phone line here. Back to the text. The IRS anticipates bringing back additional assistors as state and local advisors permit. Answers for most economic impact payment questions are available on the automated message for people who call the phone number provided in the letter notice 1444. So they got basically an automated question and answer session as well. So if you wanted to go into like the normal kind of question and answer session on an automated format rather than on the website to read it, you can use that option as well. Back to the text. Those who need additional assistance at the conclusion of the message will have the option of talking to the telephone representative, which of course is what most people are probably looking for there once they call the number, is to talk to the representative. So you're going to most likely get, hey, look, these are the normal questions. Why don't you check out the website, because we've got a lot of stuff there. And then they're going to finally hopefully get to the representative if for more specific questions. Back to the text. Americans are encouraged to use IRS.gov. That's the website, of course, IRS.gov, IRS.gov. The IRS regularly posts new and updated answers to most frequently asked questions about economic impact payment. There's a link to those economic impact payment items here. There'll be a link to this in the description. Back to the text. And Get My Payment tool. So there's a link to the Get My Payment tool here as well. Those who wish to know the status of their economic impact payment are reminded to check Get My Payment. So there's a link to the Get My Payment tool here. They're recommending that you check that regularly so you can see what's going on with the payment information. The information is frequently updated as the IRS continues to process the remaining payments for delivery. So they were saying that they basically update that thing once a day. So if you have questions about it and you're trying to say, hey, what's happening with this thing, you might want to check it once a day. You know, if you check it every hour, it's probably not gonna change a whole lot during the day. It doesn't hurt really, but if you check it once a day or maybe twice a day, morning, evening, that would be to get the most up-to-date information, you would think. Back to the text. For those who are eligible for the economic impact payment but aren't required to file a tax return, the IRS reminds them the non-filer tools also remains available in English or Spanish for them to register for a payment. So there still could be a lot of people out there that are eligible. Remember, I mean, basically they're sending out an economic impact payment whether you file a tax return or not. So if you're not filing a tax return, if you know someone that doesn't file a tax return but they're basically a U.S. citizen or resident or whatnot, and you think they might qualify for the economic impact payment, there is still the tool available, the non-filer tool, to give them the information that would be required. And remember, that would be for people that don't file the tax return, because then they would get the payment automatically and don't get some of these Social Security or other kind of benefit programs which the IRS will be working with in order to process the payment. If they're not in those settings, then it could be the case that the non-filer tool might be useful because the IRS simply wouldn't have their information, and the information couldn't be gotten from the IRS by going to any of the other agencies that have typical kind of payments to get that information. And so that tool still available.